Okay, class. Today we're going to be reviewing for the exam. The exam is next period, so I just wanted to let you know. Um, I had seen some of you struggle when we had two sets of parallel lines. So, like, we have parallel lines going this way, and then we also have parallel lines going this way. And so I wanted to kind of show you with colors a good way to do this. And you can do this on the top of your test or on scratch paper before the test, and it might help you. And if you just generically color them without numbers even, it'll work for most of your problems. So when you have two sets of parallel lines, it's going to be a little different. And so let's just start off with the ones we know. So if I cover this up and we just do this side first, let's see what that looks like for us. So if we're covering this side up, okay? So we're going to say, okay, angle 1, let's make that yellow. I'm sorry, let's make it green. I'm going to go green. I'm sorry. So angle 1 is green, okay? What is equal to angle 1? Well, we know 1 and 3 are vertical angles, so those are going to be equal. So 3 is also green, okay? We know 3 and 5 are alternate interior angles, and so those are also, 5 will also be green. We also know 1 and 5 are corresponding angles, and so those are equal to each other, and so that's why it's also green. And then the last one, we know that 3 and 7 are corresponding angles, and so 7 is also green. Another way to check it is 5 and 7 are vertical angles, and so that's also equal to each other. So all the green is equal to each other, okay? And then let's look at the other set. So the other set is 2, and we know that 1 and 2 are linear pairs, so those are going to be supplementary. So if they're a different color, right? If they're a different color next to each other, they'll be supplementary. Well, now we know 2 and 4, those will be equal. 4 and 6 will be equal, and 6 and 8 will be equal, okay? So this is just one side. Now we've got to do the other side. So let's flip it over. So if I ignore that side for a minute, and let's go here. So let's call angle 9, we'll do that one yellow. And so we know 9 and 11 are vertical angles. We know 11 and 13 are alternate interior. And we know 13 and 15 are vertical. We also know 9 and 15 are alternate exterior. Okay? We know 11 and 15 are corresponding, and 9 and 13 are corresponding. Okay? And so all those yellow ones equal each other. The last set on this side would be 10, let's make it pink. 10 and 12 are vertical. 12 and 14 are alternate interior. 14 and 16 are vertical. So we know those are equal. So if we did not have two sets of parallel lines, let's just for now pretend that we only had M and N as parallel, and these were not parallel. This would be it. Your green would be equal to your green, your orange would be equal to your orange, your yellow would be equal to your yellow, and your pink would be equal to your pink. The way that it gets tricky is we have another set of parallel lines here. And so if I flip my paper, right, and now I'm looking at this direction, I could recolor it, or I could simply see what's going to happen. And so if I look at, let's say, this side, right, I could recolor it, but that's going to get complicated. The easier way to do it is to say, okay, if I'm going to cross, we can see that 7 and 13 are alternate interior angles, which means they're equal. So 7 is equal to 13. So that tells me that green and yellow are also equal to each other when we have two sets right here. So let me say that again. 7 and 13 are alternate interior angles. And so those are equal to each other. And so when I flipped the paper over, this could be green. So you could recolor it green if you want, or you could simply say green and yellow are going to be the same. Okay? So I can recolor it if you want, or you can just know that green and yellow will be the same. Now let's look at the orange. If I look at orange, I can see orange 6 and pink 16 are also alternate interior angles, and we know those are equal. So I also know that orange and pink are equal to each other. Okay, orange and pink. So let's write that down. So it might be helpful to say, okay, I know that green, right, anything green is also going to equal, anything yellow. Okay? And then we know that anything orange also will equal anything that's pink. Because if I look at it this direction, we're looking at it separate this way. But if I flip it, I could be looking at it this way. Okay? So now let's go and see what the question's asking. This was all just set up, okay? It is saying angle 3 is 102 degrees. So I go over here and I look. I go, angle 3 is green. So angle 3 is green. So I know all my green angles will also be 102. Okay? So I can go through and do that. Now we know that there's only two options. It's either going to be equal to 102 or it's going to be supplementary. Okay? If it's supplementary, we need to do 180 minus the 102. And so we get that the other angles, the supplementary angles, we're going to equal 78 degrees. Okay? So let's go through this. Well, if I look, I can see that orange is supplementary to the green. And we know that the green is 102. So orange must be 78. Okay, so let's highlight that orange. Now I can go through and answer the questions. So these are the questions to example 1. And so we say, okay, angle 5. I look, angle 5 is green. Well, green is 102 degrees. Okay, I look at B. Angle 6. Angle 6 is orange. We just found out orange is 78 degrees. Angle 11 is yellow. Well, we said yellow equals green, and green is 102. Angle 7 is green, so that's 102. Angle 15 is yellow. Yellow equals green, green is 102. This is also 102. And then the last one it's asking us is 14. 14 is pink. Pink equals orange, and we know orange was 78. So just by setting it up beforehand, you can see how helpful this is. Again, this process is when you have one set of parallel lines here and another set of parallel lines here. Okay? To see when we only have one set of parallel lines, go to the next example.